Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in on the 90 Days to Freedom.net webinar. This great collection and connection of people all over the globe connected together for this great purpose of which we are connected. We were talking about Los Angeles, but let me have somebody special tell you about it.
Hello everybody, this is Harold Seitz, CEO and founder of Carabas International. On 9th of April, we have our great convention in Los Angeles. At the moment, we prepare everything of this. I have to announce a lot of news. At the beginning, in this year, we have 40 new products presented. Now we will introduce more new products. For example, Carrot Vital, Live Healthier with Gold, or Press Reset, change your hip gold to real gold. And this is very excited, the World of Charity, our project that will change the world. And last but not least, we present our new K Exchange Center page in Los Angeles. You get the information on 9th of April directly from myself. Come to Los Angeles. It will be exciting. Until then, I wish you good luck and see you in LA. Your Harold Seitz.
That's right, Freedom Celebration coming in Los Angeles. But right now on this great platform that we're on, we've got the one, the only Dr. Chyna Bethley. Come say something to this great world of people here.
Only you, Mr. Rodgers. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams. You are phenomenal, incredible. You dedicated so much time and effort into making sure that this platform continues to go forward. We can't thank you enough. You've dedicated effortlessly and just always provide such excellence with this 90 Days to Freedom platform. And so we so appreciate you and so many people that are working behind the scenes to even make this possible, like Mr. Rodney Berger in New York, as well as Mr. Rashard Duncan, and every single person that shows up here every Tuesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night to make it possible. So we just want to commend you all. Thanks again, Mr. Rodgers. I'm excited. We're getting closer to Los Angeles, California, getting closer to seeing many of you guys and hugging your necks. I'm so excited about that. Momentum is building. We're in a really good place. A lot of you are watching what's happening in the economy. And I tell you what, we are it. We are it. You know, gold is trending right now, and we have it. And so I want to hope, hopefully everybody is doing PGRs and getting this information in front of as many people as they possibly can. We're excited about how we are growing very, very fast as a group. The momentum is growing. And then we know Los Angeles is just going to be incredible with 160,000 people right there to just be right in our ballpark to talk to connect with. So come prepared, be ready to explode your business, be ready to be attentive and learn, listening to the trainers, be ready to connect with your phones charged up so that you can take pictures and you can flood social media and show people what you're doing. Make this event very, very profitable for you. So want to move out of the way and go to our guest tonight. He has a special guest on as well. I'm really excited about this platform because you have an opportunity to hear from people from all over the world right here. One team, one vision on a march to 1 million. So Mr. Antonio Deveaux is out of Chicago, Illinois area. He's actually from the Bahamas, I recently found out, but he lives in Chicago. And there are some great things planned for Chicago as we talk about some things we roll out at the Freedom Celebration in Los Angeles. You'll hear more details about some things that's going to get you excited for your specific market. But once again, this guy is just making it happen. I want to make sure that you guys hear his testimony as well as some tips as what you can do in LA to build your business and take it to the next level. So without any further ado, Mr. Antonio Deveaux from Chicago, Illinois.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bethley. Let me tell y'all, first of all, I'm beyond excited for this move coming with LA, and I'm loving the background scenery that you have created there, Dr. Chyna, behind you, because that is the ambiance of a winner. when you have the gold pictures behind you, that is inspirational. And I have to find a wall in here to duplicate that exact same thing sometime tonight.
It's all about the goal, baby. They
all
got
about
to
the goal,
see
baby.
the
It's all about the
goal.
goal. Okay, so
Yeah, I was liking that too, Mr. Deveaux. That was just absolutely awesome.
I don't know where she got that idea from, but man, let me tell you, I can't dim them but keep watching on Chyna's wall right there. I love that. But and I'm agreeing 100% with Mr. Williams on that. But you guys, listen, this is beyond exciting. We have our hands on right now. If you're not prepared, if you don't have your bag already packed for LA, I wish I could turn this thing around and show you my luggages already over here packed over by the door. I'm so excited to get out of here and get down to LA. I literally cannot tell you how beautiful it feels to know that I will be jet setting and landing directly in LA, not on time, but early, and bringing the team along with us as well. And this market is not going to be the same when we return. In fact, I'm waiting on a couple other my leaders to get on here right now as well, because there's some exciting things that are happening in this market. I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about my story, let you hear from some of the other leaders, and just so you get an understanding about how powerful this opportunity is. And I'm going to tell you a story, a personal story about somebody I've been attempting to sign up today. That I've been just running all over the city trying to get this young lady signed up. But first of all, let me just say this. Care Bars is the only business in the world for anyone to be involved in right now. I don't care who comes to you, who says anything to you about another business, another opportunity. There is nothing second to Care Bars. There is nothing that's even comparing itself to Care Bar. I've been getting phone calls even today from individuals that are in other companies saying, Mr. Deveaux, we need leaders. We need such and such. I said, man, let me ask you a question. The product that you're selling right now, if I put $10,000 worth of that product on my table and $10,000 worth of gold on the table, and we walk away and we come back in 5 years, you tell me which one you're going to grab first off the table. And if you're still gold, then you need to be joining my business. So the fact of the matter is this. You got a lot of folks selling all kind of things, soaps, potions, foot fungus creams, Jedi mind trick cures, stuff to grow hair on top of your head, which even if I did need it, right now I don't want it. The only thing I'm interested in doing is acquiring as much physical gold as possible and making sure that as many individuals as possible are down in Los Angeles on the 8th of April to come and see our great and amazing leader, Mr. Harold Seiss. And I know the leaders that are on here right now will agree 100% with this, in that getting momentum. And I'm going to talk about this with a series of events that we're going to be having here in the Chicagoland market, but just getting momentum is the most important thing. It is the dream of every networker. It is the dream of a marketer, of a builder, to catch momentum in their business. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story initially coming into Care Bars, because I like to say maybe my story is going to touch you in a way, because a lot of you see me, you see Dr. Chyna Bethley, you see very polished individuals like Mr. Roger Williams, you see some of the leaders, and you think that by osmosis that these people just popped up looking great, or knowing how to work these tools, or knowing how to put these webinars on. Folks, this stuff requires work to do that. It's called going above the bar and above the call of duty. It's doing whatever it takes to make sure that you are always exposed in this business. Now, I've only been in Care Bars for approximately about 8.5 months, I think, right now. But when I say I am totally committed to finishing what I started in this business, and you can see it in my face, I am so sincere when I say that I know this is the end of the finish line. There is nothing that compares to this. There is no doubt. There is no question. I don't wake up wondering whether or not there's something else out there that may be possibly better than this. I don't need to think about anything. My decision's already been made. And knowing that, I sleep comfortably telling people about this opportunity and letting individuals know all over the world, all different walks of life, what exactly we have our hands on right now. And I'm going to tell you something, you guys. It's so comforting. I'm such in a peaceful place in my business right now, because I understand that what I have is so valuable. And not only is it valuable, I'm in business with the right individuals. But just to tell you guys quickly a little bit about exactly how it is that this business is powerful, because I'm going to tell you what happened to me today, my own personal prospecting story, okay, before I get into how the business has been for the last few months. There's a young lady that I told about the Care Bars opportunity approximately about 2.5 months ago. I met her on social media, met her on Facebook, using some little marketing tools that I actually utilize. And she came across my information. I have a video that I put out where I recorded the webinar, and the video's been viewed about 15,000 times already in like the last 2.5 months. So she called me after watching the video, and she said, listen, she said, tell me more about the gold opportunity. It sounds very interesting, and I think it's something I might want to get myself involved in. So I did. I showed her some additional information, went through it, told her my story, said now is the time. Don't hesitate. Don't think about it. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just do it. And I'm going to tell you what happened, you guys. I talked to her twice, explained the information, answered all of her questions, and she was supposed to get started 2.5 months ago. She said she was going to get started the following day. I called her, didn't hear back from her after that. Now, what's interesting, now let me tell you what she said happened to her. Because this story is true, and not only is it true, but this can happen to anybody on this line right now. Anybody that's on this webinar right now can experience what this young lady experienced. Now, she lives in St. Louis. Now, I've built in that market before. One of my previous companies, I had over 15,000, 16,000 representatives just in the state of Missouri. So I love the St. Louis market. And in fact, when she called me today, I was surprised because when her phone number showed up on the phone, I know for a fact we hadn't talked since we had last had a dialogue about 2 months ago. So I just figured, you know what? I said, maybe she's made a decision now. So when Starlette came onto the phone, I said, man, how things been going? I said, where you been? I said, I'm glad you gave me a call. I said, how can I help you? You notice I didn't ask her, was she ready to get started? I just said, well, how can I help you? Well, she said, Mr. Deveaux, I have to be honest with you. She said, today, 2 things happened to me. She said that she went to the car dealership. Now listen to this. It's an interesting thing. She said she went to the car dealership to see about getting a car. And she said that when she got there, she test drove the car she wanted. And once she actually went out there and actually drove the car, she said she felt so good in that new vehicle. And she said she went in there, she applied for the credit. And once she applied for the credit to be able to get the vehicle, they turned her down. So basically her dream car, she was unable to get that car. So when you think about that, I said, wow, that's painful to hear an individual get turned down for something that they want to actually be able to acquire and have for themselves after they've worked very hard, right? Let me tell you, this is so interesting. She's trying to get on the webinar right now, but she's actually calling on the phone. Starlette, I'm actually talking about you right now. Are you? It won't let me in. I was trying to open it. 90DaysToFreedom.net. Try it again. Come on in here, because I'm talking about you right now, sister, because you have to tell your testimony is powerful. 90DaysToFreedom.net, and then just click on the link that says webinar. Okay. Now, folks, you got to hear this story from her, because I'm not making this up. Now, you see, she just called. Now, that's just, listen, everything happens through the way it's supposed to happen. God, for some reason, made a call. I know she's trying to get on the webinar. So they turned her down for her car. Now, listen to this. Now, she's at lunch, and what she's trying to, she does need to download the Zoom on her phone, right? Download Zoom. Now, what's interesting is, after she gets turned down for the car, right, she goes back to work because she took her lunch break to go test drive the car. When she gets back to work, an announcement is made that several individuals in her department have just been terminated. And guess what? She was one of those individuals. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Now, imagine you get ready tomorrow's Friday. Now, she wasn't expecting she was going to get fired today. You don't know when your last day is going to be on a job that somebody else got you working on. Now, the powerful part about it is that today she was thinking that she was going to go home with a new car and everything was going to be great for her. Mr. Rodgers, if you can look for her, her name is Starlette. It's so bad. I wish I could have gotten her on here sooner, because I really want you guys to hear from this young lady. But just see if you can see her. Starlette Simpson. Mr. Williams going to put her in here as well. But it's just amazing to me that after listening to what she said happened to her, to think that for one moment she was going to be in a position where she was going to be able to go home happy, go home with a new vehicle, go home with a sense of pride of ownership that she'd been able to acquire something. And then not only be able to get the car, but to go back to work and find out that you have been released from your job. Now you got to think about that, people. This is what I mean about not taking massive action before you need to make the action happen for you and your household. You have got to put yourself in a position where you take action and you become proactive instead of reactive. So what happened today, she had to react. She said, Mr. Deveaux, I had to call you and let you know that everything you said was right. Now think about that. Now here it is, we just met on social media. 2.5 months ago, didn't even know each other. And she meets a complete stranger. A complete stranger. And I seeded into her and said, you know what, you need to take advantage of this opportunity because you don't never know when you're going to need to have something extra in your life, in your lifespan, in your household. And here it is, 2.5 months later, I didn't even call her. She reached back out to me and said, Deveaux, please, is that opportunity still available? Mr. Deveaux, please, is there a way we can still do business together? But I got no money coming in now. I just need to do something. Now you think about that, you guys. For those of you who are in this, you're in care bars. What's a better word I should say? You're in care bars, but care bars not in you yet. You've joined the business, but you're not taking the business seriously yet. You're in the business and you're happy to be in the business, but you're not treating the business like it's your last resort to make capital for yourself. And I'm sure that some of the leaders that are on here right now, I mean, just type it in the chat. If anybody understands or feels what I'm talking about, please let me know. Because I treat this business like it's the last dollar I'm going to make. Because I believe when you committed to carry bars, when you realize what you really got your hands on, you're not going to have to question or wonder whether you should be in this business. You're not going to be afraid to tell people about this opportunity. You're going to do whatever it takes to expose this business. That's what I believe. I believe that whenever an individual gets flat out sold out on this business venture, that no individual is going to be able to sway you. No individual is going to be able to tell you no. No individual will doubt whether or not you're committed to this business. No individual is going to question whether or not you're going to finish what you started with this business, regardless of what happens. And I'm going to tell you my story. And then you can hear from some of the other leaders. I'm hoping that Mr. Williams is able to catch Mr. Rodgers and Mr. Donald Boone as well, because I know that they're out here. They're messaging me saying, please load me on. Load me in there right now. Well, folks, like I said, everything that could have been a reason for me to stop doing this business has happened to me since I came into care bars. So let me just tell you, for some of you who don't know me, who haven't seen me yet, what actually did happen to me. Some of the other individuals, and I think Mr. Rodgers has his hand raised as well, Mr. Williams, Antonio Rodgers. I've been in this business going on 9 months. I came into this business and I got an opportunity to talk, God rest his soul, God bless his soul, the great and the infamous, Mr. Dan Boomer, a man that I'm telling you I miss to this day. I only known him for such a short amount of time. But I can relate to that brother because, man, I call him a brother because ever since I met the man, he was so easy to get along with. And he made me really think about something, the power of even when you meet strangers. Because sometimes strangers that you're going to meet are going to be closer to you than people you know in your whole lives. And that's the realization some of you are going to have to come to. Some of you are going to have to realize that it's okay that the people that you know right now don't go with you on this venture. It's okay if the people that you grew up with don't see this right now. That's absolutely fine. But there's some strangers, individuals that you think might be strangers, but for whatever reason, your path, your destiny is connected to those individuals, and you're going to connect to them as soon as you birth and open your mouth and talk about what you have your hands on. Your whole path, your whole destiny is in your own hands right now. And I talk about this during my trainings. I say, listen, nobody's coming to save you. And I remember talking to Dan Boomer and having this same discussion and said, Dan, I want to save everybody with the gold. I said, what if I could tell millions of people about this? He said, well, listen, Tony said, listen, understand something. He said, you can only save those that want to be saved. That's Dan Boomer. He said, you can only save those who want to be saved. Let me say this. I had great success coming to this business. Me and my leaders, we went back, we started calculating. I think in my first two and a half months or so, let's just say cumulative, my first 6-7 weeks, I was having phenomenal success. I signed up about 40 VIPs in that little bit of time, 37, 38 VIPs. I probably signed up maybe 50, 55 so far, some 55, between 55 and like 57 so far myself. Team's almost at 1,000 individuals. We're doing okay. But 10 weeks after joining this business, my father passed away in a car accident. His car hit a median on an expressway in Chicago, and his car exploded. And he died in a gruesome death in a fire collision. Well, he died by himself, but when he struck the median, his car exploded, went up in smoke. Now, for some people can take those kind of catastrophes, and you may never see them again in whatever it is they were doing. And I had to deal with the funeral arrangements. I took care of the whole burial for my dad by myself. Did all the arrangements, called everybody, took all of his personal affairs, did everything I needed to do, even after finding out from the insurance company that they weren't going to give us a dime to help bury my dad because his insurance policy lapsed by 2 days. That was State Farm. I still did everything I needed to do for my dad. And man, I'm telling you, like for 3.5 months, I didn't do anything in the business. I wanted to do something in the business, but I was just overwhelmed. But in my heart, I knew, I said, the minute I finished my dad's affairs, I said, I'm gonna come back with a vengeance in this business. Because my dad was the first one to introduce me to gold. He's the first one. I remember my dad, one time, he bought an ounce of gold. I was a little kid. He bought an ounce just like this. He spent $42 on that ounce of gold. I'll never forget it. And I remember he told me as a little boy, he said, son, one day you're going to own something like this. And he said, when you get it, you keep it. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even understand what he was talking about. I was just a young child. Little did I know that what my dad started out is our destiny that I was going to have to finish and complete. And then I end up getting introduced to Care Bars. Then he ends up passing within a few months of me coming into the business. So I don't need any convincing. Nobody has to pump me up about doing Care Bars. I knew already I'm going to finish what I started in Care Bars. There's nothing to think about. So after I finished with his affairs, I got right back in the saddle, started prospecting, working the business again. And next thing I know, we hear about a big event going on down in Smyrna, Tennessee. Me, my brothers, I don't even call my partners, this is my brothers, my family. You know, the gentleman you're going to hear from, man, we out together every day. This is my right-hand man, my right and left-hand man immediately together. You're going to hear from them in a minute. But I remember we decided we were going to drive to Smyrna, Tennessee to actually go down for a Care Bars event that was down there, was being held. And all the other leaders were going to be down. And I was excited. And guess what? It was on my birthday. It was on January 21st that we went down there. And mind you, a lot of people could do a lot of things on their birthday. Some of you will agree that who wants to drive for hours on their birthday? I said, let's take a road trip. We can just drive down there. And so we did. We hopped on the expressway. I rented a truck, and we took off. Me and my two best buddies in this thing, we took off, got on the expressway for a 12-hour journey. Little did we know, life would hit us again en route. We driving, we're about 10 hours into our journey, going down to Tennessee, and all of a sudden it starts raining ice down on the expressway in Kentucky. My little brother, he's in the back seat sleeping. You'll hear from him in a minute. Mr. Rodgers, he's in the back seat sleeping sideways, exhausted. Man stays up till he pass out working. This man's got the energy of a warrior. He'll work. But one thing I will say about my brother, man, he's not beyond not being lazy. This man has the energy of 2-3 people. So he does what it takes to win in Care Bars in all of his business that we do. So he's sleeping in the back. We driving from Chicago, and the ice starts coming down. And I remember my man is on here right now, Mr. Donald Boone. I can't say enough about this brother. He said, Deveaux, please. He said, let's just slow down. Slow down. So we started doing like 20 miles per hour. And all of a sudden, the truck just started to rock a little bit. We were going very slow, it just started rocking. I said, man, what's going on? So me and Mr. Boone looked at each other for a second. I said, I don't understand why the truck is doing that. And the next thing I know, the truck spent itself sideways and just rushed across the expressway. The wind blew. And because it was all ice on the expressway, and blew us right off the road. And we went straight directly at about, the truck sped up. And we were doing about 45 miles an hour and we hit the median, boom. And when we hit that median, the truck went up in the air, paused for a second, like it was going to go over the cliff, and it dropped back down on the ground. And I remember those moments. And the reason I'm telling this story is because some of you are having obstacles. Some of you are dealing with things. Things that you're going to talk about are going to possibly stop you from being in Los Angeles. Or they're stopping you from working your business every day. And what I'm telling you, we had all excuses to stop doing this thing. And literally when the truck hit back down on the ground, I remember my head hit the ceiling. In fact, you can see now my head is still, it just basically finally healed in the last week. And that was over 2 months ago. My head hit the ceiling. My head exploded. Was bleeding all over the place. My little brother was in the back. He smacked in the front, got bruised his arm. I mean, almost broke his shoulder. My other buddy, he leaped up in the air, and we both were like in suspended animation in the middle of the truck. It was like slow motion. I said, man, are we going to die? And when the truck landed and the smoke was going off, the whole front end was wrecked. The only thing I thought about, I thought about my father. I said, man, I thought about the fact that when he crashed, I said, this is amazing that I will have this kind of accident. The same way my dad had an accident, but I lived. And so when the truck landed back on the ground, the first thing that came to my mind was I have to complete what I started. I could have said, let's turn around, let's go home. I could have said, you know what? This is too dangerous. We can't move forward with this. The first words out of my mouth, when they came to look at the truck, I said, we need a rental car. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. I said, man, we didn't come too far. I said, we got to get to Tennessee. I don't care what we got to do to get there. We got to find a place. I mean, we stayed overnight at a hotel in a little town out in the middle of nowhere. And just through grace and favor, we were able to get to a rental car place with the help of the tow truck driver who drove me 20 miles at 6 o'clock in the morning to pick up the only rental car that was available from an enterprise, driving all the way back to the hotel we were staying at. And we drove for 9 more hours straight to Tennessee. But because the storm was so bad, instead of taking 2 hours, it took an additional 9. But we got there. You guys got to understand something. You either going to do one or two things. You either going to make it happen or you're going to make excuses. Which one is it going to be? And that's been our story, you guys. And now we're getting ready to go to LA. And this is a business we're going to be building every day. And the Chicago market, I'm telling you right now, is exploded. But let me let you guys hear from them as well. Man, I don't know where to start at first. Let me just start right here. Mr. Boone. Greetings, sir. Mr. Boone, are you there?
Yeah.
Mr. Boone, please, I got to get to Ms. Robinson and also Mr. Rodgers as well. But please, can you just tell these individuals how this market is exploding? Let me just give you guys something powerful about Mr. Boone. First and foremost, let me tell you about confirmation. Mr. Boone was one of the first individuals I told about this business. One of the very first individuals I told about this business. And I remember when I went out to his house to talk to him about Care Bars, just why I tell you, you never understand how your destiny is lined up sometimes, but you get signs. And I remember when I went out to Mr. Boone's house, the very first time I went out there, I literally went out there to go show him the gold bar that I got in my kit. But little did I know he had a surprise for me. And it was sort of interesting how this all happened, because the same day that I went to go show him the gold, he was giving me a gold diamond Rolex. Now, this is one of my best buddies in the world. This man's like a mentor, brother, everything to me. But Mr. Boone, and on top of that, he is also in a process right now, probably signing up one of the largest church deals that I think Care Bars has ever seen, probably only second to what has happened actually with the Catholic Church. with that Pope car. But Mr. Boone, please go ahead and talk for a few moments and tell them what's going on in the market and what you feel about Care Bars and how the business is being for us.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Deveaux, and you're absolutely right. I believe this business is a blessing from God. And like we got started in the business, it was definitely a blessing from God. So I'm still a little bit under the weather. So that's probably why y'all don't see me. But just this Monday, we finally got the meeting with the most powerful black man of God in the world, Bishop Bryant's #1 presiding elder. He presided over 20 to 40 churches. So we've been praying for that for 6 months, and we finally got to meet this Monday, and he took ill and was in the hospital. So we want y'all to continue to pray for him. But I did talk to him today, and he gonna be taking off for a couple of weeks. But while he's taking off, we're gonna be working the other presiding elders over to our side, because this is a process.
Absolutely.
The most powerful black man in the world, he gonna make the final decision. But he gotta know that once he make the decision, we can make it work. So we working on that now. So y'all keep us in prayer. And not only that, the Koji Church in Chicago is getting prepared with the other churches. Prepared to work with, because I talked to some leaders in the Koji Church. So it is going to be major once it come down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you guys something that you all don't understand. Everybody is dealing with something so heavy. Everybody has issues. Like Mr. Boone has been slightly a little bit under the weather and ill. But let me tell you something. I respect this man's tenacity. This is what I mean about the people that you hang around. I always say this, and it's so true. The top 5 to 7 people you spend your time around are going to be a direct reflection of your work ethic, your belief level, and your income. Flat out. The work level of the people that you're spending your time around is affecting you whether you believe it or not. And I've watched this man, even when he is sick, go show the Care Bars opportunity to high-level politicians. He's not afraid to talk to anybody about Care Bars. And that type of tenacity is what it takes to move millions of individuals. Mr. Boone, thank you so much, brother. And I'm wishing you well. We're praying for you. And I'm gonna give you a call later on. But thank you so much, brother.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely. And let me just also, I need to hear from two more other individuals. Mr. Rodgers, you out there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please speak a little closer to the microphone, man. That same process, brother. Lay into these folks. Let them know. Now, this brother, the last 2 you just talked to, Mr. Boone, and my brother here, these are the individuals that were actually in the car with me when we had the accident. As you can see, we are all still together, still working this business, and we are just getting warmed up. Mr. Rodgers, please.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me good?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. But the first thing is what really, got me serious about this business, that once Tony showed me what it was and how it worked, the first person that I took the actual information to was my dad. And I spoke to my dad about it. And, he told me that, that's, really the only thing that you should be acquiring right now. He said he spoke to some of his mentors and some of the people he respects, and that's definitely something that I should definitely take advantage of. So, I took his words and I got started. And, my dad was real sick. And what's crazy is the day I got my VIP package in the mail, I showed it to him. And long story short, that was the last time I saw my dad. So I knew that, this is definitely something that I need to be doing, and I need to, push it as far as I possibly can. The reason why I love this business is because, to me, no matter what type of problem a person has, this business is definitely the ultimate solution to me. It don't matter what you're going through, this business is a solution. So it only makes sense. The product is, the product is real money. And, it's the only thing that makes sense. What keeps me going is my why. I told people yesterday, no matter what you're going through, always remember your why. you know, because your why is what's going to allow you to keep things going. You know, my why is my mom. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know, you know, she told me a couple of days ago that, you know, she wanted to start saving some money, and I told her about the business, and, you know, out of nowhere, she told me that she wanted to be a part of the business. So that got me excited, got me a little emotional because I thought about my dad, but that's my why. You know what I mean? So like I said, this business is the ultimate solution to any problems. And if you guys ever have, you know, any obstacles or, you know, any slight doubt, just remember your why, and that's gonna allow you to see it through any barrier.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. I can tell you that, and I will just say this, because one thing I will say as well that is very unique about Mr. Rodgers, and I can call him Tony because this is my brother. And not only just we in business together, but I haven't even known him for years. But just in the time that I've known him, we spend so much time together. It's like people thinking we are literally almost interchangeable. But what he does is so unique when it comes to care bars. It's something that's very rare that more people should do. He loves to read and research and stay up to date with current affairs. Let me tell you how powerful that is. You have to practice your craft. I talk about this all the time to my trainers. I say you have to study, then you have to practice, then you have to teach. Those are great leadership qualities. You have to study, practice, and teach. And the amount of information that this man goes through and he absorbs, it also builds your confidence level. I've just watched him grow in this business in the last few months to a whole nother level of understanding, and a whole other level of being able to talk to and articulate the business to any level of individual. To the point where I'm seeing individuals who are financial advisors that he's conversating with, he's correcting some of these folks, telling them why they need to be acquiring gold. So you got to become adamant about studying in this business. That's so, so important, you guys. And I'm looking forward to us. Man, we got so much going on in Chicago, you guys. It's going to be amazing. Mr. Rodgers, thank you so much, sir. We're just getting
IMG takeover.
That's right. Yeah, because the international, what we have right now, you guys, we're going to be talking quite a bit about is that, you know, there are so many events we're going to be doing in Chicago, and we're hoping that some individuals nationwide will be duplicating these same things. We're going to have another yacht party. We had a yacht party last summer that we did that was phenomenal, a gold yacht party that was just amazing, where we actually were able to get people from the team out, had the professional photographer on there. But this time we want to do one with at least a couple hundred individuals. We're going to rent a different yacht, 100-foot yacht here in Chicago. Maybe some people fly in for it, which I'm sure that they will. But we have to show the lifestyle of care bars. That's so important. See, it's not enough to just make money to be acquiring gold, but people need to see your lifestyle accelerating and going to a different level, because that's when people's belief levels will increase also. And also we demand, I demand as a king, and other kings, other individuals who claim that, to have the finer things in life. We're supposed to be living that lifestyle. We're supposed to have several houses, maid service, butler service, cooks, boats, yachts, helicopter if you want to. I mean, if you agree with these things, let me know in the chat. Because some of you, I think you got to get past the mindset of stop thinking that it's not meant for you to get wealthy. You got to be okay with getting rich. Getting wealthy is a beautiful thing. Dreaming big is that's an amazing thing for your household. When did it become a time in this country where people are afraid to say that they still want to get rich? Why has that become so synonymous or bad when somebody says, you know what, I want to be a multimillionaire? I'm claiming that. Dr. Chyna Bethley is claiming that. Roger Williams leaves on his car. We're claiming that. I've made millions of dollars, but I want some more. And you can get anything you want in this country. That's why people come to this country, for opportunity. We got to take this thing and run with it, you guys. And I mean, we just getting warmed up. Then there's another individual. Oh, absolutely. Say that's right. You say you're a wealthy woman. We got to live like that. That's why we do this business. So we can take that next level lifestyle and go where we need to go. Now, we need to hear from this other young lady. There's another one of the leaders here in Chicagoland market. Let me tell you what's amazing about this young lady. She'll tell her own story. But she's got what I call double committed, where a person sees it, they come into the business, and they say, oh, this thing is good. But then they have an epiphany moment, and then they're ready to go to a whole nother level in the business. They come to some kind of conclusion mentally that, you know what? I'm not going to be stopped in this thing. I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it as hard as I possibly can. And not only has she done that, but I watched her literally just in the last, goodness, I want to say in the last 60 days, her business has grown with about 40 to 45 brand new people. But let me just let you guys hear from her. Ms. Robinson, are you out there? Ms. Robinson,
I'm
can you hear
here.
me?
Hello, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, but just tell them what's going on in the Chicagoland market, sister. Tell them a little bit about
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's breaking up just a little bit, but try again now. Oh, it froze just a little bit. Okay. Well, we'll give her a second to come.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, try again. Can you speak now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah, everything has been just marvelous in the Chicagoland area. I'm so glad I decided to re-engage. I was one of those ones who got started. I gave my money. I was VIP, $2,000, just like it was nothing. Okay, it was absolutely something to me. But I acted like it was nothing. And for about 7 months, I did absolutely nothing because I made excuses forever and ever. I had so much to do, just the same so much to do that I still am doing. Do you understand? And something just caught on fire to me. There was one call that Dr. Chyna Bethley did, and she called us out. Sometimes it just takes one thing and one person that just brings it along to you. And to this day, I'm so grateful for that because I even listen to her call, her CD about once a week. But you just got to get serious. It's more than just about me. It's about my legacy, my family. My children are coming to LA because I need them to know about this. I need them to continue this. And by the time that they get, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. By the time they get to a certain age, I need them to be rolling in dough. But it's more about me. And the world is really going to come to an end one day, but we're going to be prepared. A lot of things are going to happen in the earth before the world comes to an end. But when it does, the people that are in care bars, the people that we care about, the people that we tell about this, are going to be saved. I don't know if any people, the doors were barred closed. There were men standing at the doors, but it was a true real life story. I put myself there. I put my family there. I really thought about it. I was on the verge of sending text messages to go and get all my money at the counter, go grocery shopping, whatever the case may be. But if you really pay attention to what's happening in the world, that stuff can happen. Besides that fact, we live for right now today. I want to retire from my job in 3 to 6 months. In order to do that, I have to do something really serious. I'm really sick and tired of going there, being around people I don't want to be around, hearing from people I don't want to hear from, getting up when I really don't want to get up. I want to roll over. So if I really want that, and I'm really saying that I want that, I've got to do something about it. And I just thank God that Carrot Bars is going to be that thing that afford for me to do that. And so really, I'm so grateful for the process. 90 Days to Freedom is really what really helped me to keep track of the things that I was doing with the trackers. There's a PGR each and every day. I take advantage of it. I invite. It's so much fun. A lot of teammates, me and a teammate now, Mr. Moya, who just came in the business from the Philippines. We have a competition. We have a PGR on Sunday. We said we're gonna bring 20 people to the competition. To the PGR. It's so much fun. It's getting us excited. And so those type of things are just the little things that you can do to encourage your teammates, have a little fun, make a lot of money, and I'll see everybody over the top. And get to LA. I'm coming. Me and my kids.
I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. That is so powerful what she just said. In that, it's so powerful what she just said because of the fact that her being able to recommit and make that mental decision that she is going to do this for her family regardless. That is powerful. That is what this thing is all about. And to watch her business growing the way that it is, to see how the whole city is coming together. Because it's one thing when one person's working or two people are working, but when you have a multitude of very serious leaders that are moving with almost like a groove, like everything's just coming together perfectly. People have the knowledge, the swagger, the understanding of how to move with this business now. It's just on a different level where we ever could imagine. And so we're thinking about the future of how Carrot Bars is going to be. It's just amazing. And I can tell you this much. and I'm hoping that Starlette's able to get on. I'm trying to get the young lady to get on so you all can hear from her. The one I told you had this situation where she got turned down for her car and lost her job all on the same day. You've got to hear from her because even if she has to call in, that would be, I may have to just call and get on speakerphone so you can hear from her, because that is something that can happen to anybody on this webinar right now. It can happen to anyone. And what you need to do, you need to be living your life as though that is a potential possibility tomorrow. Because guess what? She didn't know today on Thursday the 31st was going to be her last day at the job. She didn't know that. She was expecting, she's probably thinking about next week of what she was going to do at the job. That's that normalcy bias. See, when you have normalcy bias, that's when you expect everything to stay exactly the same all the time. So when something changes, you get caught. It's like it's catastrophic because you're thinking like, how could this happen to me? What did I do? And not realizing that in the job pyramid structure, you don't have to do anything. It's just the cost of doing business. Isn't that what the CEOs are telling people when they're laying off thousands of individuals? Boeing just announced today they're laying off 4,000 people for sure, potentially 8,000. Think about that. It's the cost of doing business. When these companies restructure and they decide there won't be a pay increase this year, it's not that they don't like you. They say it's the cost of doing business. And then they smile at you. So when you're not working your business for care bars as though your life depends on it, and you just assume that you'll be at your job next week or even tomorrow through the end of the workday. And most people, believe it or not, when they get released or get fired, it usually happens on a Friday. I know that from HR policy because the reason they do that is so you have time to simmer down over the weekend. It's a true statement. So think about that. The next time you're questioning whether or not you should talk to that prospect or call that person back, or whether you should be in LA with myself, with the leadership, with Mr. Reynolds, with Dave, Nadine, Tammy, Cheryl Ann, with Harold Seiss, with Dr. Chyna Bethley, with Jewel Tanker. These folks, you guys, you don't understand. These folks are superstars in this industry, and you need to get there and meet and mingle with everyone. And there are people from the corporate staff that are flying from Germany to come and see us. What other opportunity will you have to be able to get with hundreds of dead serious leaders from all multiple marketplaces where you need to plug in with all these individuals and to be able to corral your entire team and potentially get recognized all in the same place? That doesn't happen on a regular basis. So I'm hoping, let me just try to call her because you guys have to hear this from her on her own because I don't think she's been able to get on. But I want you guys to be able to hear this because hopefully you'll be able to hear it on speakerphone because I think that is so powerful in different stories. Starlette?
Yeah.
Listen, just speak up a little bit. Were you able to get on?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, listen.
I'm still.
Now listen, I want you to just tell your story of what happened, right? Because I've been talking about you for like the last hour. I want you to get on, but we got a couple hundred people on here right now. Just tell them how we met online and just what happened to you today and why you're choosing to come into this business. Just they can hear you because you're on speakerphone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, don't worry, sister man, because your story gonna touch me. Let me tell you something. This happens all over America right now to people. And we say this all the time, so there ain't nothing to be afraid of because we're gonna work with you. Because I'm looking to make success stories in this business. So you don't realize today may seem like it was a bad day for you. But in 3-4 months from now, after working with us, you're going to look back and tell folks this is probably the best thing that ever happened to you in your life was actually getting fired.
All right. Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Go ahead and tell them what happened.
Okay, well, I was actually, first I went to try and get a car, a trade-in or whatever, and that didn't go well. And then right after that, I got a call from my job saying that I was terminated. So I was let go for the lady. I don't know what was wrong with her. So she let me go. And now when I got in the car to drive back home, that I was going to trade in, I'm like, I'm going to get in contact with Antonio Deveaux and, ask him more about the business that he was doing. And at first I was scared. I'm still a little nervous, but I'm a lot better. I'm a lot calmer now because he has been saying a lot of things that motivate me to go ahead and, put my fear aside and step out on faith and see what happens.
Man, people, you don't understand how powerful it is when you can get motivated internally from yourself, but get inspired by somebody else. And this young lady is beyond inspiring me, because I remember when I first talked to her a couple of months ago, she was afraid then, but she's probably more afraid now. But guess what? See, sometimes you got to be forced to take action. Something's going to force God, going to do something to move you to take action. Even when you don't want to take action, something's going to have to go make you take action to move you towards your destiny. Now, what I'm telling everybody, including her, is listen, we're going to win in this thing. You know why? You got to declare your own victory first, then you got to chase it. There's power in your words. Whatever you say you want to get done, when you mean it and you commit to it, it's going to happen. It may not even happen the way you expect it to happen. Just like when I had that car accident, getting ready to head down there, or the accident that I had when I was actually heading down there to Tennessee. I didn't know for sure. I didn't know I was going to have a car accident going down there. But you saw, even after we were bleeding, we still continued on our journey. Why? Because I said out of my mouth, I'm going to meet the rest of the people that's working this thing. I had never met Dr. Chyna. I had never met Julia Tankard. I heard of them, but I want to go see the legends in person. I want them to know that I'm dead serious about my business. Just like Starlette, this young lady's on the phone right now. She is mentally committed right now. You know what? She may not never have to go back to a job if she take care of business with us. I remember, see, what you don't know, Starlette, I remember I got fired from a job before. And I was in my teenage years, and I knew right then I didn't want to be there no way. It was people at the job, I didn't even like them. It was people at the job I despised seeing every day. But guess what? I was going there because I wanted that little check. But once I got free and I found another way to make some money, you could not drag me into a job right now. You couldn't do it. I'm too used to waking up when I'm finished sleeping. My partner's there tell you I'm not going to move before I'm ready to get up. I'm too used to being able to do what I want to do during the day. I don't want to be anywhere dealing with folks that I don't know. I don't want to be nobody telling me how much money I can make every 2 weeks, and that's all I'm going to get. Or people telling me when it comes Christmas time, if they don't give you the raise, they say, well, you should just be happy you have a job. Now you imagine somebody talking to a grown person like that. And that's going on all over the world right now. People playing mind games on you, trying to get you stuck in the mentality of limit, trying to get you stuck in the mentality of lack, trying to get you stuck in the mentality of you only worth a certain amount every hour. When there's trillions of dollars. And me and my brother Rodgers says, there's quadrillion dollars out here right now ready to be converted into gold. And you can get a piece of that. And we out here begging for dollars instead of getting out here and looking for billions. Folks, we got work to do. I'm going to see you at LA, but I'll call you back short. We're going to finish getting you set up. But thank you so much, sister. Are you more than welcome to stay on too as well if you want to listen in?
I want to listen.
Okay. Now listen, you guys. The time to ran out. But I'm going to say this one time and one time only. Whatever you got to do to get to LA, you got to be there. I don't think you got to get a roommate. You got to squeeze cramp. You got to be in LA. You want to be in LA because LA, this business moves from event to event. That's the kind of business the Care Bars is. And once you start to understand the 90-day cycles, that's what's so powerful about the 90 Days to Freedom. Because if you use the tools on the 90DaysToFreedom.net, you simplify your whole business. I use the resource track off of the where my sheets at. I'm steady making new sheets constantly, filling these documents out. It's very simple. All I got to do, and guess what? That's Starlette's name right there. That's her from 2.5 months ago. I still got a name on the sheet. Now think about that. What's here? Right there. Isn't that interesting? Now what's wild is I wouldn't even know to remember all this information if I didn't write it down. This pipeline tracker is the truth. I love this thing. It makes my business simple. Use the tools. The leaders not just put them tools out there for it. They're not just doing that just to put it out there. They put it out there because it works. These tools are simple, they're duplicatable, and they allow you to monitor your business. And as you can see, it works. You just listen to the young lady. She just told you, we talked already. I've been tracking it. And eventually, when life situations happen, whether good or bad, people will come back to Care Bars. You see how this goes, right? So keep in mind, whenever you think about whether or not to use those tools, the tools are working already for us. Take it from someone who experienced great results in this business, that it works. Dr. Bethley, thank you so much. I hope that somebody on here was touched. I'm hoping that these testimonies touch something. I mean, in the chat, if this made sense to you, please let us know. Because sometimes we be wondering, hopefully this has touched someone to be on top of their game right now in this business. Man, this is so powerful. Miss Dr. Chyna Bethley.
Wow, thank you so much, Tony. So many of the testimonies were just absolutely incredible. Definitely want to give my condolences to Tony's father. I had no idea. Just, you know, so many similarities there in your testimony and his testimony. And then Mr. Boone's, we're definitely hoping that you feel better and get well. And we definitely know that you're making some incredible alliances with some great people, men and women of God, that we are looking forward to welcoming aboard to Carrot Bars. And then Ms. Robinson, you definitely warm my heart. You are definitely just on fire. And I'm just so grateful that, just like Tony is saying tonight, you never know when your testimony is going to inspire someone, reignite someone. And so I have no idea the day, the call, or anything that Ms. Robinson is talking about. And so I want to encourage everybody to keep doing what you're doing, because you never know who needs to hear your testimony, what you've been through, that's going to pull them out, and so that they too can have a testimony. And so I'm really excited about seeing everybody in Los Angeles again. Guys, let me tell you something. If you haven't made the decision to come, trust me, so much can change in your business from your belief building and being in that environment that you definitely want to make a decision to come, as well as this is the last night to vote for Mr. Harold Sykes, the #1 compensation plan in the world. Do your part. Go as hard as you can. Let's get him up. Let's push him up even more. And so we are going to close out. We're right at the top of the next hour. Thank you so much for being on with us. Great job, everybody, for being on. I'm looking forward to that Chicago market. You guys are excited about Chicago. Go ahead and put that in the chat box, because we got a tour that's coming down the pipeline. And I tell you what, you know, I love a yacht party. So I'm looking forward to having a whole lot of fun. So with that being said, guys, thanks again, Tony. Phenomenal job, great testimony, and thank you all for being on with us tonight. So go right ahead, Mr. Williams. And this is a wrap, guys. We'll see you back here Saturday night with Mr. Dave Struckman, Ms. Nadine, as well as some additional special guests that are going to be on. God bless you all. We love you all. Good night.
And remember, we're right here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we're ready to just have you chime in, listen to the great testimonies that's happening to ignite and excite your business. Let's go for gold, y'all.
Let's make some history tonight. The child inside is wild. Let's make this moment come to life. The time is on our side. Don't know what's up ahead, it's only high and low. Picture it in your head, nothing's impossible. We're gonna make it now, we're gonna leave our mark. Let's take a shot in the dark. Ready, set, go for gold. Chasing every heartbeat, we can feel it starting. Ready, set, go for gold. Chase it till we own it, living in the moment. Ready, set, go for gold tonight. Ready, set, go for gold tonight. Even if we fall and make mistakes, we live, we learn, we change. Gotta keep on going every day, and it will be worth the wait. Don't know what's up ahead, it's only high and low. Picture it in your head, nothing's impossible. We're gonna make it now, we're gonna leave our mark. Let's take a shot in the dark. Ready, set, go for gold. Chasing every heartbeat, we can feel it starting. Ready, set, go for gold. Chase it till we own it, living in the moment. Ready, set, go for gold tonight. Ready, set, go for gold tonight. Go. we said go for gold. Chasing every heartbeat, we can feel it starting.